Welcome to my unboxing and first look at the GeForce GTX 650. This is the Power Edition from MSI, which is actually going to be quite a factor for this particular GPU, I believe, although I haven't tested it yet. This is my first time opening up the box, so I'm pretty excited about that. This is an OC edition, as most Power Edition cards are. It uses their transthermal design, which I'll show you guys once I open it up. It's got 1 gig of GDDR5, although the 650 will be available with 2 gigs as well. It uses a 128-bit bus and the GK107 GPU. So this is a slightly lower end GPU than the GK106 that's used in the GeForce GTX 660. Although the 660 Ti uses the 104 GPU, so just sort of try and wrap your brain around all of that. So this has most of the Kepler features, including DirectX 11, as well as 3D vision support, NVIDIA Surround, their new anti-aliasing technologies, adaptive VSync, which turns your VSync on if you are above your refresh rate of your monitor and off if you're below. This provides an optimal balance of performance and avoiding screen tearing. You've got full support for PhysX, CUDA, as well as their Pure Video HD technology, okay, and up to 3+1 displays out, so you can use. Let's just open it up, shall we? Let's get this going. Did I say 3+1 displays out? Because what I meant to say is 3 displays out. Sorry, my bad. Actually, give me a sec. Yeah, 3 displays out. Sorry, guys. So that's with support for NVIDIA Surround technology. That sort of stands to reason, but not 3+1. So if you want 3+1, you're going to want to look at one of the higher end cards, such as the 660 or 660 Ti. I mean, it kind of stands to reason because there's no way you're going to be playing a game in Surround on sort of a lower end card like this, plus be running an auxiliary display. It just doesn't necessarily make any sense. So let's have a look at what we've got in terms of accessories. You've got a dual Molex to PCIe power adapter. You've got a bunch of stuff in here, DVI to VGA adapter. One of those right angle mini HDMI to HDMI adapters. These are handy because they keep it from interfering with your case. All right, you've got some documentation that doesn't really matter, as well as a driver disk, but you should download the latest off the NVIDIA website. Just go ahead and close this bad boy up. Put that in there, okay. Now, one conspicuous absentee from the NVIDIA feature set, even though this is a GTX class card, is SLI, okay? So if you guys want SLI compatibility, you want the ability to run a couple cards in tandem in the future, you're going to want to go with at least a GeForce GTX 660, okay? At the time of filming, although who knows, there might be some other GPU coming out later that goes between them that might support SLI. I don't know anything about that, though. So let's have a look at the card itself. Right, Power Edition, what's important about that? With these kind of mainstream gaming graphics cards, it's all about getting the best bang for your buck. So you are definitely going to want to get the most out of whatever overclocking you're going to do on a card like this. So what a Power Edition card does is it gives you access to MSI's additional overvolting options. So those overvolting options are going to allow you to really squeeze every last megahertz until it megahertz out of this card to get as much performance as you can. Full support port for PCI Express 3.0, so that's a 16x slot, and don't worry about the missing pins. It's fine. We've seen this before on NVIDIA lower-end gaming cards, and it doesn't actually matter unless you need the extra bandwidth. Or, well, not extra bandwidth. It's still running at PCIe 16x. Unless you need the extra pins, you don't end up needing the extra pins. So the higher-end cards have all of them. The lower-end ones sometimes don't. Let's have a look at the cooler. So this is sort of a unique design. Check this out, okay? So you've got kind of these contact plates down here, which are split up a little bit. Okay, and then you've got thermal interface material under them that is interacting with things like the memory, things like VRM, all of that good stuff. And then you've got a very open, I'm just going to slide this again. I'll show you what that does later. You've got a very open design that allows a lot of air to pass right through the card, which is going to do a great job of cooling VRM components as well as the any memory modules or whatever else the case may be. Speaking of memory modules, with the 128-bit bus and with the density of memory chips these days, there are only 4 memory chips. They're on the other side of the card, and I suspect because this is a custom PCB that they'd need to redesign the PCB in order to install. Actually, hold on. Those might be contact pads for additional ones here, actually. So they probably wouldn't need to. A 2 gig card could be done fairly easily with this PCB. All right, so let's show you guys MSI's exclusive transthermal design. So you want more silence? You leave it in single fan mode. This is using a propeller blade fan that looks like a 92 millimeter fan, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, did they have anything to say for them? Ah, yes, okay, so we'll use their diagram. So there's single fan mode, there's higher static pressure double airflow mode, and then there's actually dual fan mode. Sweet. So this provides more cooling for the PWM modules and memory. This enhances the heat dissipation capacity with pressure, which remember, you need pressure to push air through fins. And then you need better, and this single fan mode is just like quieter and better than reference still. So the cooler includes their propeller fins as well as their dust removal technology. So their dust removal technology spins the fan backwards to blow some dust out of the heatsink before then turning around and spinning the correct way. Now this will sound kind of loud when you first turn it on every time, but bear in mind the card is operating correctly and everything is okay. So I'm going to show you guys how to transform from one mode to another one. I'm guessing they couldn't call it a transformer because then Apple would claim that they invented transformers and tell them they can't sell their card in North America anymore. Or wait, no, couldn't pop. Yeah, must be Apple. That's the one that invented everything. So here is the double stacked fan configuration. And you can see that they've actually got, see, this is kind of a smart fan design actually. I wouldn't have minded if they were counter-rotating, that would be even better. But you can see they've got these blades in here that will help it generate more pressure without generating as much interference between the two fans. So then you plug this guy right in here, and all of a sudden you have a triple slot card, but MSI is giving you the option to keep it dual slot if you don't want to install the additional fan module. However, you have more options than that. But wait, there's more. Slide it like this. Pop it in like this. And... oh, whoops, I did that wrong. Hold on. I got this. Ah! There we go. There you go. Dual fan cooler. So that increases the length of the card a little bit as well. So you still plug the power in there, but you got a little bit more. I mean, there's going to be a lot of clearance in most gaming cases for this kind of a card anyway, but there you go. That's showing you both of the additional fan modes. So in conclusion, that is the GTX 650 from MSI. This is the Power Edition with their transthermal cooling solution. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.